Yo, and as you can tell by the thumbnail and by the title of this video, I'm back with another review. It kind of feels weird doing a Raw review because I missed doing the SmackDown review, because I've explained this a couple of times. But I filmed the SmackDown review, and 5 minutes into filming the SmackDown review, my mic disconnected. Didn't tell me, so I just carried on filming that SmackDown review as normal and watched it 9 hours later after uploading it, realised that there was no audio for 21 minutes of a 36-minute video. So I had to make that private because I didn't realise. I don't tend to watch my Raw and SmackDown reviews back because I like to keep them like as raw as possible, so I don't like to edit them, so I just hope that everything went smoothly in the video, and then I post it, and then that's that. But obviously I watched that one 9 hours back and then it was muted for 21 minutes, so yeah. So it feels weird doing a Raw review and there not being a SmackDown review like previous to this one, but oh well, is what it is. I did give this Raw last night I don't know if you'll be able to see by the thumbnail, but probably not, but I did give it a 5 out of 5 because it was really good last night. I really, personally, I really enjoyed Raw last night. It's definitely better than last week. Just from start to finish, everything I felt went just really like smoothly. Every single match was really enjoyable to watch. Every single segment was enjoyable. Every single backstage segment and interview was really enjoyable. So yeah, personally for me, this Raw was a 5 out of 5 Raw. Before I get on to the review, let me know in the comments down below. Do you agree with me? Do you believe that it was a 5 out of 5 Raw? Do you believe that it was worse than a 5 out of 5 Raw? But yeah, no, I really enjoyed this Raw. But we kicked off Raw with the new faction member, with Seth and Bron Breakker and Paul Heyman, and that being Bronson Reed. And the segment was a very decent segment. It pretty much was just Paul Heyman like glazing the shit out of all three of them, to be honest. And then Seth was saying that he's gonna qualify in the main event that later that night for the men's side of the Money in the Bank, against Seth Rollins, not against Seth Rollins, against himself, against Sami Zayn and Finn Balor, and that he was going to go on to win the men's side of the, I don't know if I say men's side, obviously men's side, to win the men's Money in the Bank, and then he's going to cash it on whoever he wants to cash it on, and he can cash it on whomever he may feel whenever he wants, pretty much. That pretty much was a segment. It was a decent, because what Paul Heyman said about Bronson and Seth and Bron Breakker was very decent, because Paul Heyman's absolutely incredible in the mic, no matter who he's talking about or what he's talking about. And then Seth's promo was decent too, but it wasn't like a great segment. I was expecting like Sami to interrupt, or even possibly Punk, or even Jey Uso. I wasn't gonna put my fan on, but it's actually a bit warm in here, so if you can hear a fan, that's why, obviously, because I've just said I'm putting my fan on, so I don't know why I'm explaining. But yeah, it's a bit warm in here, so I'm gonna put my fan on, even though it's cold outside. My room gets hot in the summer. It's weird. So sorry if you can really hear that. I'll hang on 2 seconds. I'm gonna put it back a little bit so it's not as close to my face. There we go. It's a little bit further away than it was now. Yeah, so that's pretty much what the beginning segment was between Seth Rollins, Bron Breakker, Bronson Reed, and Paul Heyman. And the crowd also was, how do you word it? Kept changing their minds, I guess is the best way to put it, because I couldn't think of anything else. Obviously they singing his song in the beginning, when he first made his entrance, and then they started shouting "fuck you, Seth Rollins," and then they started shouting to Seth Rollins, "you sold out," and then they started booing him, and then they started singing his song again. So the crowd was switching sides a lot. I don't know what was going on there, but yeah, the crowd just shout "you sold out," which doesn't, I would kind of agree with Seth, doesn't actually really make any sense because he didn't sell out to anyone, like he didn't like join The Rock or anything like that. So I wouldn't say he's sold out, but I guess he turned heel on the fans, so I guess in a way he's sold out to us, but I don't know. I don't really class him as selling out. I think he just is doing what he feels is best for business, and he wants to be the man that's running it pretty much. Doesn't want Punk running it, doesn't want Roman running it, because obviously Punk left the company for almost 10 years, and Roman's a part-timer, so he doesn't want any of those two running the business, so he feels like he's the best man for the job. So that's pretty much what this whole faction is about the future of WWE. Yeah, and then we kicked off the first match of the night, and it was a men's qualifying match for Money in the Bank, and it was between Penta, between Chad Gable and Dragon Lee, and oh my god, what a triple threat Money in the Bank qualifying match this was. This was absolutely incredible. Like, what a match this was. We had Penta do some like I don't even know what it was called, like a power driver, but Chad kind of like didn't flip himself over. I think he was meant to like flip himself over and land on his front, but he just didn't, so he just landed on awkwardly on the side of his head, and that was insane. And then we got a I can't say the word because I don't know if it'll get banned on YouTube, but the S-dive by Dragon Lee to Penta, where he went head first into Penta. Oh my god, that was incredible. And then we saw Chad Gable do a double suplex to both Penta and Dragon Lee. Absolutely incredible. The strength on that man to lift two men above his shoulders onto the mat is just incredible. And then the opponent that Chad Gable's facing next Saturday at Worlds Collide got involved. I can never remember his name. I don't want to try and pronounce it because I'll really butcher it, and yeah, that would be kind of rude of me to do that, so I don't want to say his name. But yeah, his opponent at Worlds Collide got involved to distract Chad Gable. It then helped Dragon Lee take advantage of that, but then Penta out of nowhere pulls off the Mexican power driver, Mexican power driver? No, Mexican driver? I can't remember what it's called now. I'm saying Mexican anyway. Pulls out his finisher to Dragon Lee, picks up the victory, and Penta is heading to the men's Money in the Bank next Saturday. And oh my god, this men's Money in the Bank is cooking. So far, we've got Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, and Penta. So far, because obviously I'm not speaking about the main event yet, but what men's Money in the Bank we've got, including the last person that we'll speak about obviously when it comes to the main event. Like, this men's Money in the Bank is cooking. The whole Money in the Bank, to be honest with you, is cooking. Because we also actually no, I won't get on stage yet because I'm going to speak about that in a bit, but yeah, this Money in the Bank is looking to be a really incredible show, and I'm hoping they pull it off to be an incredible show considering the amount of talent we've got on this card at the moment. And we've also got like one more match to be added as well, because there's always like 5 matches on Money in the Bank, so we've got one more match from SmackDown to be added. Don't know who that will be, really don't know who that will be, but yeah, very intrigued to know what the 5th match is going to be. But yeah, Penta is heading to Money in the Bank. We're in for some high-flying moves and incredible high-flying spots, hopefully. So yeah, I'm well looking forward to seeing Penta in his first ever Money in the Bank ladder match. And then we had a segment with the Judgment Day. Roxanne brought in chicken and nuggets for Dominic Mysterio. Said that Dominic's shoulder looked a bit stiff, so she started to like massage his shoulder, and then that's when Liv Morgan made her return to WWE after going on a hiatus to Japan to film her movie, and walked in on Roxanne massaging Dom's shoulder. Was confused by what was going on, yeah, there's And Finn Balor was laughing the whole time. There's definitely some friction going on. Like, I 100% feel that maybe they're going to split them up. Like, maybe Carlito, Dom, Raquel, and Liv go on one side, and then like Roxanne, JD, and Finn, and that's all of them, yeah, on the other side. Like, kind of splitting them up, but there's still being a Judgment Days, but there's someone's called something else. I don't know which team. Probably Liv's team probably called something else, but Finn's team will still be called the Judgment Day, because there's definitely like some sort of like situation going on with that team. They never get on, do they? Really? Like, never get on. Always got people like coming in and out of the Judgment Day like all the time. So yeah, that's definitely going to be something it's definitely going to be something that's going to happen next Monday, because we also saw, as I'm speaking about the Judgment Day, I'm going to speak about Liv's match actually with Kairi Sane. It's not the next thing I was going to speak about, but I'll speak about it now as I'm talking about the Judgment Day. So Liv obviously later on that night had a match with Kairi Sane, which was absolutely incredible. I was not expecting it to go as long as it did. I really wasn't. I was expecting Liv to win quite quickly, because obviously it was her first match back since she's returned. So I was expecting her to win really quickly, but we had near fall after near fall, finishes after finishes, signatures after signatures. It was a really incredible women's match on Raw, like absolutely fantastic by the both of them. But Roxanne came out, distracted Kairi Sane. Liv was about to go for Oblivion, but because she got distracted because Raquel and Roxanne started arguing about Roxanne getting involved, it kind of distracted Liv for a little bit, so she wasn't able to pull off the Oblivion, sorry, let's call it something else then. And then Kairi Sane picked up the victory, which is crazy sentence to say, against Liv Morgan, in a roll-up pin, and is caused more friction between the Judgment Day, as I was saying previously, because Raquel and Liv and Roxanne had a segment again backstage with the Judgment Day, and Liv was actually angry with Raquel and not Roxanne, because Roxanne was just getting involved to help when Raquel started arguing with Roxanne, because Roxanne got involved to help. So they're starting friction between Liv and Raquel, which is very interesting. But yeah, so it's going to be very interesting to see what happens next week on Monday Night Raw. I can see them doing maybe Raquel Rodriguez versus Kairi Sane next week. But yeah, I have to wait and see what happens with the Judgment Day. So yeah, before Liv and Kairi Sane had their match, we had face off between Rusev and Sheamus, which are former members of the League of Nations, with Wade Barrett and someone else that I don't like to mention his name, but yeah, they used to be a part of League of Nations, Rusev and Sheamus. So we had a little reunion, like half of the group reunion there, after Rusev demolished Akira Tozawa in like under 5 minutes. So that match is gonna absolutely cook. I wasn't gonna really speak about this because obviously they only stood face to face with each other for like a minute or so, but the fact that we haven't had a Rusev and Sheamus like face to face in a very long time, I wanted to speak about it for that reasoning, and also them being previously a part of League of Nations. So that match and rivalry is going to absolutely cook, and I'm very excited to see a match between Sheamus and Rusev. Probably not next week. I can see them doing like maybe Sheamus doing an interview next week and Rusev doing like a video type package next week, and then maybe the week after, maybe on the June 9th show, we get Rusev versus Sheamus. Yeah, I can't see them having a match next week, but we never know. And then we had another incredible match. Didn't think this match was going to be as good as it was, but it was, between the Creed brothers, War Raiders, and the New Day for the Tag Team Championship. World Tag Team Championship. This triple threat was incredible, and absolutely incredible. That's the third time I said incredible now, and I never thought I'd be saying that for a tag team match that involves the War Raiders and the New Day, because as much as the War Raiders are good in the ring and so the New Day, we've seen so much of War Raiders versus New Day, I'm getting so bored of it. But having the Creed brothers involved made this match absolutely incredible because there was a new tag team involved. But it's annoying me the fact that they can cook with this type of match, on a triple threat, right, tag team match, but yet no other tag team gets involved. Like, it's always just these 3 tag teams, and that's what's annoying about the Raw tag team division, is the fact that it's always just these 3 tag teams. And WWE is showing that they can cook with matches when it comes to the tag team division, but the other tag team, the other tag teams that are part of Raw, the Raw division, don't get enough TV time on TV compared to the New Day, the War Raiders and the Creed brothers. So it's just really annoying because this match was really enjoyable to watch, but pretty much 90% of the match the Creed brothers and the New Day teamed up together. There were some amazing spots as well when it comes to them all teaming up. But then the New Day obviously got the upper hand at the end by rolling up, I think it was Brutus Creed, to pick up the victory, and they ran through the crowd because obviously they kind of turned on the Creed brothers even though they were helping each other throughout the whole match. So I could definitely see them doing a feud with the Creed brothers and the New Day now, which would be different, I guess, because we've had the New Day and the War Raiders for so long now. So having a rivalry between the Creed brothers and the New Day will be a bit different. So I'm down for that. Just wish there was more tag teams, because now the War Raiders are not going to be doing anything, and we're going to constantly see the Creed brothers and New Day have matches when we could be having other tag teams having matches, but they're just, I feel like there's no tag teams on Raw. I can't think of any. We have A-Town Down, but they're always having single matches. And then we have the New Day, War Raiders, and the Creed brothers, and Alpha Academy. Like, the tag team division on Raw is just terrible. But yeah, that match did cook, so I'll give that match a big thumbs up. But yeah. Well, the next thing I was going to speak about was Liv Morgan versus Kairi Sane. Obviously, I included that in the earlier segment with Judgment Day, because I might as well, because they're part of Judgment Day. What's next? Oh yeah, we had a very personal segment between Lara Valkyria and Becky Lynch, and it was announced that Becky Lynch will face Lara Valkyria next Saturday at Money in the Bank for the Intercontinental Championship. And Becky Lynch gave Lara Valkyria an offer, and Lara Valkyria accepted, and the offer was that if Lara Valkyria wins, Becky will never face her for the Intercontinental Championship again. But if Lara Valkyria loses and Becky wins, Lara Valkyria has to lift Becky Lynch's arm up and raise her hand pretty much in victory. So that's made the match even more interesting now, because there's a stipulation involved. If obviously Becky loses, she can't face Lara for the Intercontinental Championship again while she's champion, and then if Lara loses, she has to raise Becky Lynch's hand in victory. So it's going to be it's made the match even more interesting now. Even though their match at Backlash was fucking amazing and their rivalry has been really enjoyable to watch, it's made this match even more interesting now because there is some sort of stipulation. But yeah, no, their segment was like very personal, both coming at each other's husbands and, well, fiance and husband. Yeah, so it was very, very personal promos. But I've said this a few times, I'm not quite behind Lara Valkyria yet, but I am slowly starting to get behind her a little bit more, because you could tell in the promo that she done that she was new to doing promos, and she was working on her promos, because she kind of would say a sentence and then kind of paused to see what type of reaction she got, and then carried on saying something. So you can tell that she's working on her promo skills. But no, she's incredible, because you can tell that she's putting in the hard work to better herself on the mic. So I have to give her credit for that. But yeah, no, I'm really excited for that match. Really, really, really excited. Yeah. Before we get on to the main event, we obviously had like I've just said, but we've got that match confirmed between Becky Lynch and Lara Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. We also had it officially confirmed, I guess, that John Cena and Logan Paul will face Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso in a tag team match at Money in the Bank. The fact that they've made this official, it's definitely making me believe that Travis Scott is not going to get involved, and we're not going to get a 6-man tag between Travis Scott, Logan Paul and John Cena versus Jimmy Uso, Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes, because I do not want that. I do not want Travis Scott being involved in a wrestling ring ever again, like, unless he's singing or rapping or whatever. Like, no, anything to do with actually getting physical, please keep him out of it, because he can't do anything for shit. Like, no. So I'm glad that they've officially announced it, because hopefully that means that he's not getting involved, but we've still got a couple of episodes of SmackDown to go yet, so he still could possibly get himself involved in this match and it becomes a 6-man tag, but I can't see it considering there is only 2 more SmackDowns before Money in the Bank, so hopefully not. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the tag team match between those 4, as much as I wanted CM Punk versus John Cena at Money in the Bank to relive 2011 rivalry at Money in the Bank in Chicago when CM Punk left WWE through the crowd as champion and his contract was up that night at midnight. I wanted them to relive that whole scenario again, but this time John Cena walking out as still WWE champion but going through the crowd and doing the exact same thing as CM Punk did, but it being John Cena. But yeah, we're not getting that because Logan Paul's not John Cena, and Logan Paul's not CM Punk, Jey Uso's not CM Punk, and Cody Rhodes isn't CM Punk, so we're not getting that. But it is unfortunate because, yeah, I would, as a hardcore WWE fan that watched that rivalry, I would have loved to have seen it at Money in the Bank again. It has made me really intrigued to when they're doing CM Punk versus John Cena. I'm presuming it will be SummerSlam. Yeah, I'm presuming it will 100% be SummerSlam, because obviously SummerSlam is a 2-night show, so I can definitely see them doing CM Punk versus John Cena at SummerSlam, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't know, but I guess we'll have to wait and see when they do that for you, because they better do that for you. I don't want to be annoyed if they don't. But yeah, the last situation that happened on last night's Raw, which was the main event, which again was the men's side of the Money in the Bank. Presuming we'll get the women, yeah, oh no, not even presuming, yeah, we'll get the women's side of the qualifier next week, because I think we've got one more SmackDown qualifying match happening this Friday, and then we've got one more, I think, on Raw next week. So that's going to be very interesting to see who's in that triple threat for the women's side of things. Well, actually no, Liv Morgan will be involved in that, never mind, because obviously she was going to go to Adam Pearce to have a match for the Money in the Bank qualifier, but obviously got interrupted by Io Sky and Kairi Sane, and that set up Kairi Sane versus Liv Morgan. So Liv Morgan I can see definitely being involved in the triple threat next week. Don't know who else will be involved in that though. But yeah, so that's going to be very interesting to see. Probably Lara Valkyria actually, because obviously Lara's Intercontinental Champion, so she could be involved because Jacob's involved in it this Friday. So I can see them doing Liv Morgan, Lara Valkyria and somebody else, and then Becky stops Lara Valkyria from qualifying. Oh no, yeah, because actually no, that wouldn't work, because obviously Lara Valkyria is facing Becky Lynch at Money in the Bank, so yeah, no, that won't, never mind, ignore what I just said. It's because I knew that Jacob was United States champion, which is a mid-card champion, and he's involved in the qualifiers. So I was like, oh, Lara Valkyria could be involved, and then I was like, oh yeah, no, wait, that don't work, because she's obviously going to lose, and I'll just make it too obvious. So yeah, no, never mind. But yeah, so now I don't know who's going to be involved in that qualifying match with Liv Morgan. Maybe they do Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus, don't know. I actually don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, we've got one more men's match as well, I'm assuming, next week. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we have one more men's when it comes to the Raw side, and one more women's when it comes to the Raw side, and then we've got one more SmackDown when it comes to the SmackDown's women's side, and one more men's SmackDowns when it comes to the Money in the Bank as well. I think we've got 4 more, 2 for each brand. It took me so long to figure out how to word that because that was a lot. But yeah, the main event of the evening was Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn for the men's qualifier for Money in the Bank next Saturday. And this match was incredible, like a very, very good main event. I 100% thought Sami Zayn was winning this. Like 100% of me felt Sami Zayn was going to win this, and he was going to win Money in the Bank next Saturday, and then he was going to cash it on Jey Uso 2 days later, turning heel on Jey Uso and becoming World Heavyweight Champion, and then aligning himself with Seth Rollins and Bron Breakker. But when Bronson Reed made his return on Saturday night's main event and joined this team, and we got the news that Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn and Finn Balor were going to be in a qualifying match, I was like, okay, Sami Zayn could still win and win Money in the Bank and turn heel on Jey and join the faction, because then that'll make it 4 people as part of the faction. But then that theory went out the window because Seth Rollins won. And I don't know how to feel about that, because everyone knows I love Seth Rollins. I've loved Seth Rollins for a very long time now. I've got him on my wall, and if you saw my top 10 greatest of all time, you'll know that Seth Rollins was number 1 on my list. But I really wanted Sami Zayn to win this, because I really wanted that theory to happen, because it would have been so interesting, because everybody loves Sami Zayn and they're calling him Sami Uso and everything, and I feel like him turning heel on Jey Uso would have been like one of the greatest heels turns this year, and I just feel like it would have been very interesting to see Sami Zayn turn heel on Jey and join Seth and Bron and Bronson and Paul Heyman, but that's obviously not happening because Seth Rollins qualified. And I don't know how to feel about that. I 100% think that Seth Rollins isn't winning Money in the Bank now, though. Like, definitely not. Like, he can't. But then I don't know, because I don't know now. Like, it has made this Money in the Bank side for the men, it's like very interesting, because we've got 4 very interesting people in this feud, in this match, because obviously we've got Penta, who has no involvement with Solo and LA Knight, and then also don't have any involvement in Seth Rollins. We've got LA Knight and Solo, who've got some rivalry going on between the two, because obviously LA Knight kept attacking JC and Solo and Jacob and all that, but then Seth's got no issue with the other 3 that are in the men's side of the Money in the Bank. So it is very interesting to see who's going to be the 3rd man when it comes to the Raw side, because I'm hoping on Friday Night SmackDown this week that Carmella Hayes and Naomi win their qualifying matches, because I'd love to see Naomi and Carmella Hayes in Money in the Bank next Saturday, so I'm hoping those 2 win. That makes it very interesting to see who's going to be the 3rd man for the Raw side for the men's Money in the Bank, and the women's side as well, to be fair. I can possibly see them doing, because after Seth Rollins won, CM Punk's music hit, and he GTS'd Seth Rollins and then ran through the crowd. I can see them doing CM Punk versus Bronson Reed versus Bron Breakker next week on Monday Night Raw in the last qualifying match, because obviously there's that tension there between Bronson and Bron Breakker and CM Punk when it comes to them 2 not liking CM Punk, because obviously they're a team. So I can see them getting involved and not get involved. I can see them having a triple threat with one another, and then Seth Rollins obviously constantly is distracting CM Punk when he does get the upper hand, and then obviously Sami Zayn comes out to help CM Punk, Jey Uso comes out to help CM Punk, and that helps CM Punk to win, and then CM Punk qualifies for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match as the 6th man involved, and if that happens, we are in for an incredible 6-man ladder match. Imagine Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Carmelo Hayes and CM Punk in a 6-man ladder match. Like, that is just a crazy bunch of people. So that would be very interesting to see if that's what the triple threat is next week. But I can also see it being CM Punk versus Bronson Reed and somebody else. I don't know who, but it's a third man that doesn't have any involvement with CM Punk and Bronson Reed. I can also see them doing that as well. But I can definitely 100% see CM Punk in a qualifying match next week. 100%. For the simple reason alone that he's on the poster. I know a lot of people that are on the poster that aren't involved in the Money in the Bank at the moment, but and don't think they will be. But yeah, he is on the poster, and he is on the front of the poster, like quite visibly compared to some other people on the poster. So I can see him being in some sort of qualifying match next week and winning it. But for the women's side, apart from Liv Morgan and possibly Raquel being in the same match, I don't know who else for the women's who's going to be involved in that triple threat apart from Liv. But yeah, that was the end of my Raw review. It feels like I haven't spoken about this. Feels like I haven't spoken much about Raw, but this was an incredible Raw. Like, I really personally really enjoyed this week's Raw. But yeah, like I said at the beginning of the video, let me know in the comments down below, do you agree with me on it being a 5 out of 5 Raw, or do you believe that it was lower, or even lower than a 4 out of 5, and a 3 out of 5, a 2 out of 5, a 1 out of 5? Definitely let me know in the comments down below. And yeah guys, this has been my Raw review, and yeah, I will see you guys it's been Charlie, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.